Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Brandon White with Montgomery and Graham,
I'm Tracy Clark.
and we are your benefit advocates for your employee benefits. And today we're going to be showing you a 2-hour video. Is that right, Tracy? 2 hours?
Um, I think so.
I
That's on
don't.
a good day. Maybe a
I
little
don't think
longer.
anybody can endure 2 hours. We're going to try to make it about 20 to 30 minutes. But we know this is very important for you and your family. And so we want to make sure we cover all of the resources and the benefits to be able to navigate through your healthcare. And so at this time, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to walk through a few key benefits. So this is our benefits open enrollment. In the month of March is your open enrollment, but we're okay if it spills into April a little bit, if you have some changes there. It's important to get those in quickly, but it's okay if it's in the first part of April. We're going to go through a couple things, hopefully to make the decision easier for you. You know, first thing is we're in 2021. To me, Tracy, it looks like a lot like 2020. So I'm not quite ready to flip that over yet. It looks like the same year. What do you think?
Yeah, feels like deja vu so far.
Yes, hopefully we can officially have a new year. Today, we're going to be covering your medical plan with Cigna. It is staying with Cigna. We were able to negotiate the renewal down to make it affordable for both pension plan specialists and for yourself. We are going to have two plans just like we do today. The benefits are staying the same, and you're going to have a choice between the HSA plan and what we call a buy-up or choice plan that has copays. There is going to be a change in the network that is available for you, and we will go through this to make sure you know the changes. Good news, dental and vision is renewing as is, no changes there. And then there are a couple things that we want to highlight for your HSA and now your flexible spending account. You will see what we call our employee cost sheet. This is a great reference for you to be able to look at some of the main benefits in both plans and then the costs that pertain to this. First, I just want to point out that Pension Plan Specialist is continuing to pay 100% of the plan. This is very generous. We have a lot of clients, and for 2020, a lot of clients had to lower contribution, raise deductibles, those types of things, and Pension Plan Specialists have made the decision to keep things intact. And so please reference this on the costs that will pertain to you. So I'm going to highlight just quickly the benefits of both plans. And because none is changing on the benefits, we'll quickly go through this. As a reminder, on the HSA plan, it's called the high deductible health plan. You have a $4,000 individual deductible times 2 for family. Doesn't matter if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6. It's an $8,000 deductible. You're out of pocket. We like to refer as your stop loss or worst case scenario. You would be paying $4,000 for an individual and $8,000 for the family. This is a great benefit because it's the same as the deductible. So once you've hit that deductible, you're going to be covered 100%. Until that deductible is met, you will be paying the full cost of a primary visit or a specialist. And again, there's no referral needed to go see a specialist. You can self-refer. Telemedicine is a huge thing that we want to talk about. We have a slide on this, so I will refer to that. But if you have an HSA and you do the telemedicine, it's going to cost you a lot less than going in person. You do need to use Cigna's resources for the telemedicine, and it'll usually run you about $50. Urgent care is a good choice. Obviously, it costs a lot less than emergency room, So we encourage you, if it's during normal hours of between, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. to go to urgent care rather than emergency. Hospitalization is subject to deductible. Once you've paid that, it's covered 100%, just the same as emergency room. Basic lab and x-ray covered 100% after deductible, and so is advanced imaging, which would include CAT scans, MRI, those types of things. Alternative care is covered, but again, this is not until after you've hit the deductible. Once you've done that, then you have up to 12 visits covered 100%. This includes massages as well. A lot of people will hit the deductible on certain things, and then they have that massage therapy covered 100%. You have a vision rider, which we will go through, and then prescription is covered full after you've hit the deductible. This is why we would encourage generics as much as you can. The buy up or choice plan is a $500 deductible, $1,000 for family, $2,500 for individual, $5,000 for family and out of pocket. This does include the deductible portion as well in the out of pocket. This has copays, so you would pay $20 if you went to a primary care physician, and then $30 if you went to a specialist. The telemedicine, this is $10, so a lot less, maybe sometimes more convenient. And I'm going to explain here in a minute how you can access the telemedicine visit. Hospitalization is covered at 90%. You're responsible for 10%. If it's an inpatient, outpatient procedure with Southwest Washington or Legacy, Salmon Creek, you are going to have to pay the 10% after you've hit the deductible. Emergency room is $250 copay. Again, encourage urgent care, which is at $30. Just a statistic there that we see average 80 to 90% of emergency room visits could have been handled in urgent care. So just think about that. Obviously, if it's life-threatening, get to the ER as fast as you can. It doesn't matter where you go. It's always going to be covered at the high level. Basic lab and x-ray in this one, the deductible is waived, and then you're responsible for 10%. So this is going to be blood work that's not tied to preventive care. I'm going to go through preventive care here in a minute, but it would be, a broken bone x-ray, that type of thing. If you're going to do a CAT scan MRI, then you're going to be subject to deductible, and then you're responsible for 10%. Alternative care, this has copays in this plan. It's a $30 for chiropractic, deductible waived up to 12 visits. Acupuncture is subject to deductible, and then you're responsible for 10% up to 12 visits. It's a $500 deductible, though, for the individual. Same with massage therapy, 10% after deductible. Prescription, these are the copays, so $4 for generic, $25 for what they call a preferred brand, and then $60 for a non-preferred brand. And I'm going to show you how you can find out what is preferred and non-preferred. So benefits stay the same. The only change that we have is the network options. This allowed pension plan specialists to negotiate the renewal down to keep costs intact. And it's not a huge change. We got a report that showed the utilization on the piece that we're not going to have was very, very low. The best way to remember this is we no longer have Providence as a choice. In Washington, that doesn't really affect us too much because all the major hospitals will be covered. So Legacy, Salmon Creek, Peace Health, which is Southwest Washington, are all in the network. But if you go over into Oregon, be careful not to use a Providence Medical Center or St. Vincent's. That would not be in the new, what we call Local Plus network. Of course, Cigna has a national network. You're still able to access in other areas, but just make sure you're going online to make sure it's in the Local Plus network. Just a couple other major providers that we want you to feel good about is one, the Vancouver Clinic is in the Local Plus, Portland Clinic, all of Peace Health. And again, when we got the report, it was 98% of our utilization last year was covered in the Local Plus. This just shows you the percentage of providers that are in the Local Plus that were in the open access. So we're looking at 78, 75 overall, but for specific to pension plan specialists, it was 98%. Something that Cigna has created that is really helpful is a website that's custom to PPS. You can go on to this link here and will come up a website that's specific to you at Pension Plan Specialists. This is going to have all the resources that you need to see benefits, to check the formulas on preferred and non-preferred. Just to give you an example here, if I go under benefits and coverage, you're going to be able to see, you can go on. Here has the two plans listed, the major components of the plan. And then if you want actual documents to print off, that type of thing, they have that available. Here you can pull up your benefit summaries and put that in a good place for you to refer to, as well as dental and vision are all there. Great resource. They've got videos on HSAs. If you need an explanation and reminder on that, it's all in there. Just a couple quick things about consumerism. You know, we're on a plan with Pension Plan Specialists where the utilization does matter. It does affect renewals. It can affect your premiums and what you can pay. Obviously, it's there for you and your families to get the proper care, but we ask for your part in making good decisions. The first is preventive care checkups. These are covered 100%. You are allowed to one a year. That includes any type of lab. And it just will help future catastrophic claims to get in and to make sure everything looks good. I will also tell you that preventive care, when you go, make sure that you're telling your physician that you only want this a routine physical, because if they write a prescription or they find something there and they want to work on that, it's going to switch to a diagnosis and you no longer get it covered 100%. So when I make mine every year, I call them, I'm saying, hey, I need my annual physical. I don't want any other type of, service, just that, it's covered 100%. Use in-network providers. This is a big one here, especially now with the Local Plus. Just make sure you're checking the website that it's in the network. And then we talked about urgent care when possible. The big thing too that's coming more popular, in fact, we didn't have a choice for a long time last year. We all had to do virtual visits, so we got familiar with these. Cigna provides two ways to have this done, and it's a much lower cost, especially if you're on the HSA. Like I said, it's going to run you about $50, where in person it can run you about $200. If you're on the buy-up plan, it's going to cost you only $10. You do have to use these two resources. So unfortunately, you can't just have your normal primary care physician get on and see you virtually. What I found out is when I did that, they charged the same cost as if I was in person. So if you're comfortable with any physician that they have in the queue, it really works well. I mean, you will have somebody usually within 5 to 10 minutes. And they can prescribe certain medications if needed. I will let you know MD Live was just purchased by Cigna. And so they've got this down where it works well. It's great for kids as well. And it's 24/7. A reminder that the Cigna app is a great resource. If you have not downloaded this, please do. You can manage your claims. You can get your ID cards. You can find your in-network providers in the local plus, review your coverage, see how much you've paid towards your deductible and those things. Tracy, the dental.
Okay, so good news on the dental as well. There have not been any changes made to your dental plan. So it will remain the same. You have that maximum benefit there of $1,500 per person. The deductible also remains the same, $50 per individual and $150 per family. The deductible does not apply to your preventive services. So that's new. So good news. So when you go in for your preventative visits twice a year, your cleanings, there is no deductible that's needed to be met then. And then with your basic services, Cigna will cover 80% of those visits, and you would be responsible for 20% of those of the services, basic services. For major services, it's a 50-50. And all of that accumulates up into the maximum benefit of $1,500. So hopefully you've been happy with how things have been going on your dental plan, because there haven't been any changes. As Brandon mentioned, I'm going to refer you back to the My Cigna app. That's a good place to go to keep track of all these things. And also on that benefit education link. And we will be sending over PDF versions of your full benefit summary so that you can see the breakdown of what's considered a major service, what is considered a basic service, and so on. So we just want to make sure that you have all that information and just stay up to date with who your in-network providers are. Okay, and even more good news. No changes to our vision benefit this year again. We're keeping everything the same there. So you don't have, there's a $0 copays for exams and materials. And a lot of plans, unfortunately, go on, I'm sure you might have experienced it at least. When you go in for any one of these services, you have to wait 2 calendar years before you can have that service again. Your plan is not that way. So it's a really great option we have here, where you can go in for these services every 12 months. So that's pretty exciting. So anything that you may have done last year, you can go and do it again this year. We don't have to wait. So, and then you have your $150 allowance for hardware over there. So if you've got your frames last year, you can go in again this year and you'll have that new $150 allowance. Otherwise, everything is covered in full after your copay, which is $0. So that's a pretty rich benefit. Hopefully it's been working. If you have any questions, you can just let us know. Again, provider information and full benefit summary will be provided to you. Okay, then we've got some exciting news here on, sorry, I moved this over. So we have your FSA, your flexible spending account. We have hired a third-party administrator that will be handling all of this for us. So you will be able to do this with Paylocity. We've been partnering with him for a while now, and things for the most part have gone very smoothly. I myself use them for my FSA, and it's always easy. The app is really user-friendly to go, and if you need to upload your receipts and things like that. So I think you're going to be really happy and impressed with the service you get from them for your flexible spending account this year. And then last but not least, those of you on the HSA, there won't be any changes. We're just staying with HSA Bank. So we're providing some further information there. If anyone's going to be new on the HSA, there's some links and tools available right here, and there's information for contacts up there. Those of you who are already on the HSA, no changes there.
Well, that does it for us. We appreciate the time. We hope this was helpful. And we wish you and your family a great 2021.
Thanks,
Take care.
everyone. Bye.